What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chapter channel, coming to you with a Thursday pre-All-Star Game edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. It's also great content over at Eric Lindquist. You can follow me over on X, putting out the prop thread. I got through 10 games and just had a show, and then I'm getting ready for this, and it ends up being like a 14-hour day. I apologize I wasn't able to finish out all the 5 games, but hopefully we can get Julian Strother and Pickett. Yeah, those are 2 real things that I threw out there in terms of points props over there on X. Follow me at Eric Lindquist. Just talking process, putting everything out for you, showing my work, doing a little bit of the old prop stuff for you, because, well, we're not going to have any props for tonight. We're going to talk through some props, some ones that, well, I got every single prop line today, so I'm going to kind of base it off of that for some leans, and we'll talk about what I'm paying attention to there. But otherwise, we've got ourselves 5 games, every team, all 10 of them, on a back-to-back, the second half of a back-to-back. And then, of course, the All-Star break starts up, which means you won't see me again until next Thursday. Oh. Producer Jacob's really sad. Lindy 50, that's where you can sign up for Tails down below. We'll talk about it later. Producer Jacob, we got one more for the old Gipper this week, and then I'll see you guys in a week. Let's get to the picks. Game number 1, and it's kind of an interesting one. Golden State taking on Houston, and I think there's huge rest possibilities on the Golden State side. I could see this actually being just a pure punt, pending how everything pans out for them. Pure punt pending how it pans out for them. A lot of alliteration, kind of like a guy who has a show called Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks on YouTube's. Anyway, we got Golden State, Dallas starting up here. There's not really a center playing for Dallas, and they're not giving me Kevon Looney props. Why are they not giving me Kevon Looney props? But anyway, they'll probably give them to us here. Now, Şengün played on the front half of this back-to-back, but I don't think he'll end up resting here on the second half of this. I mean, this could be just a bleak midwinter of a basketball game, if you ask me. We already have Fred VanVleet. Jabari Smith is going to be back after the All-Star break. Says February 21st is targeted date, so just over a week, we'll see him back in this rotation. Well, that'll be fun because we haven't seen a lot of Tari Eason and him together at the same time, because they kind of like ships passing in the night kind of thing. Way too many analogies on this first game. But as I work through this, the first 2 games of this slate are pretty difficult, if you ask me, because it's kind of just hypotheticals. And I don't know how this Dallas run out goes, because that game is dipping off as we speak right now, 9:35 p.m. Eastern time, 6:35 Pacific. So I really want to be paying attention to this tomorrow and seeing if I can snipe a number on the Houston side. Houston money line, that is where we're going to be going here potentially. It's a lean for now. It's the big shrug here, but pretty close spread. We got ourselves an interesting one. Want to be paying attention closer tomorrow. Producer Jacob's very happy with me as we go to Sacramento -4.5 at New Orleans, and this is a perspective prop only. Now, Sacramento -4.5. You got Domantas Sabonis playing big minutes every single time out. In fact, his usage has been up in the post-De'Aaron Fox era. Kind of makes sense. You have one Malik Monk out there just creating, doing all that good stuff. I mean, Domantas Sabonis can create too, but this is a perfectly healthy Sacramento team unless something happens in the last, I don't know, 15 minutes of this game that I have on the corner of my screen. But as it stands right now, I expect this to be a full go for them here. And I do not expect that from the New Orleans side of things. I think if I had to do anything and you were to lean, it's the same thing as what I just talked about with Houston. I think you'd want to jump on the -4.5 there on the Sacramento side. Because do you think Zion Williamson's playing on a back-to-back in this spot? I surely do not. And I bet this gets bet up to like -6, but again, I have this like right at 5, so I'm not going to be screwing a whole heck of around with this. I don't know how to phrase it that way, but Yves Missi was an unexpected add to the card for me, purely because he's playing 30-plus minutes a night, and now I expect there to be that little transfer, that little window where they move things towards him, because Zion Williamson will be off the floor. Not that they're going to do it offensively, but the usage does trail up. It only can trail up. He's got the highest rebound rate on the team as is, and there's really no backup center. They sent Daniel Tice over to Oklahoma City right at the deadline, and then Oklahoma City bought him out. It was basically a tax move for everybody involved. But then you've got Jeremiah Robinson-Earl behind him. Matkovic has been a guy that they've played at the 3. He's started in a couple of these spots. Could see him starting alongside of him here as well, but Yves Missi, 17.5 points plus rebounds. That was the line that I bet on Wednesday. Want to see what it shows up at here for Thursday, because I do think against Sabonis, true center on the other side, and then Jonas Valanciunas behind it, you could see a lot of minutes for Missy here. Rebounds, that was the main thing that I was targeting here on the front end, but made it better to package them together just from a price perspective. Now we get moving. We got 3 plays to round out the card, one of them being a lock, and then 2 prospective props coming up here, both of them double-doubles. Miami, -2.5 taking on Dallas, and Terry Rozier was downgraded and then ruled out with a stomach illness. Same thing with Duncan Robinson, and then Kevin Love's out for personal reasons. He's going to be out past the All-Star break, but you got Tyler Hero playing against Oklahoma City, which I was a little bit surprised to see because I thought there was a chance they were going to punt that game. And then you know what they did? They went up at the half. They're up 11 right now on Oklahoma City halfway through that third quarter. So there are ways where somehow, some way, Tyler Hero is going to play on the second half of this back-to-back. And, well, Eric Spoelstra, good coach. He can figure things out, how to move rotations around or how to live in the post-Jimmy Butler era. You're going to get guys like Tyler Hero out there creating. Bam Adebayo, in the absence of Tyler Hero, even though he's had like a 4.5 assist prop here for the last few. But I look at this as purely backing Dallas because PJ Washington ruled out, which I did not expect on Wednesday. They're going to save him up for Thursday, and they kind of not punted that game because you still got everybody else playing, but they have no front court whatsoever going up against Golden State. That's kind of a good team to be facing if you are starting Olivier Maxence Prosper at the 5, which is, again, how they had to roll things out. But I think you're up against Miami, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware. Very interested in those props because they should be able to rebound to oblivion. I repeat, why did I not get Kevon Looney props on Wednesday? I'm going to have to go look at those live here. F it, we'll do it live. But I like Dallas +2.5. I expect PJ Washington to play on the second half of the back-to-back. Not sure if it's a Veterans Day of rest that we're going to get for the other pieces. Not sure how this one plays out, but a back-to-back where PJ Washington is going to be the most rested of everybody. I guess Terry Rozier if he ends up playing, but I don't think a stomach bug. He's rested. But anyway, PJ Washington double-double. His rebound chances have been through the moon. Knocks in a moon. So pay attention to that. That is something that I definitely want to be paying attention to. Pay attention to this, friends. First week, $10. First month, $25 if you use code Lindy50 down for Tails Below. Now, when you sign up, you get not only, a companion app. So you download OddsShopper app, which is completely free to do, by the way. And then you set it up where you just sign into your Tails account. You sign in. You've got me. You've got direct access to me. Not just there, but in the Discord as well, where you can talk smack. Let me know how dumb I am from time to time, which is okay. I think I'm doing pretty good positive EV plays. Again, showing you my work there over on X day in, day out, working through the modeling, getting ourselves good CLV on a nightly basis, which sometimes can be my only saving grace because otherwise I just have to focus on how bad I run. But Lindy50 down at the link below. Would love to have you there. Let's crush this Thursday leading into the All-Star break where college hoop's going to be a thing. All right, y'all, back to the picks. Yeah, it wasn't great to log on and then see Alex Caruso heads to the locker room here as I was about to record, but that's what we got. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at OKC -4.5 going to Minnesota. And this is really about one guy that I really want to highlight from a prop perspective and just a return to his old stomping grounds perspective. Who am I talking about? None other than Chet Holmgren. For those who don't know, Chet Holmgren, Minnesota sports legend. In high school, the guy was out of freaking control. Played at the Apple Valley, I believe, where it was Tyus Jones and Trey Jones, where they dominated up there in Minneapolis. It might be Minnesota sports homer. It is what it is. But Chet Holmgren, friends, did not play on the front half of this back-to-back. And I think they're going to let him go for 28 minutes, 29-ish minutes here in this spot against Minnesota. Minnesota on the back-to-back, and obviously I just talked about it. OKC having some struggles with Miami. But Minnesota, you got Mike Conley. I expect him to play here considering he sat out Monday and Wednesday. And then Anthony Edwards. I don't think they're going to pure punt this, but there are so many teams that pure punt against Oklahoma City when you least expect it. And I think that isn't built into this line whatsoever because I already have this at 6.5. And then I think all of the rest potential is on the Minnesota side coming into this All-Star break. Naz Reid been playing high 30s minutes, low 40s minutes here for the last however long. Rudy Gobert, same thing. They've really had to put the pedal to the metal. And if Anthony Edwards is dinged up whatsoever going into the All-Star break, they're going to give him a little extra rest in a spot that they're not really expected to win. I'm not saying that that's a foregone conclusion. In fact, I think it's closer to doubtful in this scenario, but anything that can break that direction that isn't built into the line, I feel pretty optimistic about. And we know we're getting at least Chet Holmgren added to the mix. Now, did I say it sucks that it was hip tightness and Alex Caruso didn't return to that Miami game? I'm saying that for sure. But Minnesota, all of the rest potential there. Chet Holmgren back in his old stomping grounds. I just love this play. Oklahoma City -4.5. It is my lock. My last lock here of the first half of the NBA season, and it's against my team. Yeah, it's a homer. Whatever. Chet Holmgren double-double. I think it's extremely unlikely. His rebound rate isn't all that good anyway. Averages, 8.2 rebounds per game, I guess, in 25.5 minutes. It's been much better this season, but I think you also have the chance of Isaiah Hartenstein getting ruled out for this one too, which would suck for the spread and definitely would change things a little bit. But Chet Holmgren, want to get some kind of investment in him before tip-off. Last game of the night, and we do have a play from this too. The Clippers, -8.5 taking on Utah. There are chances that the Clippers rest everybody and don't even travel them to Utah. And that is what I'm very, very nervous about. Might try to get some Utah exposure, but Utah, they've routinely been resting Lauri Markkanen and John Collins, Walker Kessler on the second half of these back-to-backs. So we could be getting some real scrub-dub-dubba-dubs out there, and it could be just disgusting. But the Clippers, yeah, defensively they can add stuff, but now they've got Bogdan Bogdanovic, not our Lord Bojan, who will be returning for Brooklyn after the All-Star break. I cannot wait. Oh, real ones, no. That was also terrible singing on my part. Over 224.5. I think the modeling really likes the over of this one, because if you do get it full strength, I already like the over. And if you get some of these key defensive pieces out, I don't expect Kawhi to play. I don't expect Walker Kessler to play. You get all of these guys out on the back-to-back, because again, every team has a back-to-back here. Over 224.5 is going to look real mighty fine. So give me that, and let's get the heck up out of here. Have a great All-Star break. See you in a week. And that does it for another edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Thank you so much for a great first half of the NBA season. Really enjoyed putting this program together for you every single night, working my tail off. And speaking of tails, you can sign up down below. Promo code Lindy50 if you want to join the Discord. I'm going to be firing up college sports. I'm going to be firing up PGA at Torrey Pines. I'm going to be finding myself a little bit busy over this All-Star break, heading to Arizona for a couple of weeks as well. Going to be hanging out there, stomping, doing the thing. Probably go to Sonoma, do a little hiking. Got to get away. Give it away, give it away, give it away. All right, we're under 15 minutes. I should probably go. Producer Jacob, thank you so much, per usual. And again, you will see me in a week. That is all. That'll do, pig. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.